So when the Bible talks about the allures of fame, money, and success in this world, it speaks of it in a way to warn us, to protect us from the ills of this world. And I wanted to talk about three particular people that claim to be Christian at one point or the other. And when they became a public figure, they became a mockery to God. It's the Reality Show with daily Christian commentary videos. If it's the first time over here, do be sure to check out the other videos that are down in the pinned comment, and I will see you over there. Now, I'm recording this video a little bit early, so because I do have terrible load shedding tomorrow from the time when you're watching this video. And so I'm anticipating that it might be a little bit bad because I think there is also a 4-hour in the middle of it and it's right in the middle of the day. So I'm going to record this video a little bit early and get it out there. Now, the first person that I wanted to talk about who went out there, claimed himself to be a Christian, but became a mockery, like a direct opposite. Like this man, you cannot tell that he is actually Christian if you look at the things that he does. I mean, his public image is almost so much a mockery that it's impossible to not see it. And the person that I'm talking about is Passion Java. Now, Passion Java recently had a whole thing that he did, like here there was a song not long ago that came out, and I wanted to show you that particular part right now. Passion has become almost such a mockery. It's almost like he's drafting what others who want to mock God should do. Passion had this song that he actually went out on. I don't know if Holy 100 is his name as a rapper or whatever that is. He had a song which was supposedly a diss song or a rap song which was a diss in a way. You can see a cartoon version of himself. It was a diss to this other person, but they put this guy on a cross. So he was dissing someone whom they had put on a cross. And that was the imagery that he had put out. Now, that's not the only thing that Passion Java has done. Passion Java has done a whole lot that was thinking. But this here was one of those images. If you are dissing someone or you are making a mockery of someone, you put them on a cross. Is that how you diss someone? Think about it. It's almost like saying the contrary. You are mocking the cross, or you're making the cross a point of mockery. I thought that was quite interesting. The second person that I think falls within this category, right now, there's a lot of questions about this particular individual. And he is a Nigerian artist by the name of Rema, as he is known. He is known as Rema. And if I may show you his page, this is his page. He's a very popular musician. Rema was a gospel artist. He was a gospel rap artist. Now, it's not new that gospel rap artists go out there, they become popular, and then all of a sudden, they change up their image when things get thingy. You remember when Lecrae did his entire thing, when the hip-hop side of things kind of got him involved in their awards and whatnots, they started inviting him. He dipped and he no longer claimed. He said, I'm just a musician. I'm no longer a Christian. I'm not a Christian. And so this guy was a Christian gospel singer. And in no time, there's been a lot of questions that have been asked about him very recently. Now, one of those questions that you actually, I think I actually saw one of them a little bit earlier on, was one of these pictures that he had, this particular picture here. Now you might say nothing up with that picture. If you zoom out, or if you actually put it in, you will notice that he has a very strange horned ring that he's wearing over there. Now, I did look to see if I could find a thing. Maybe I should have done a little bit more Google search. I probably would have found the picture. But I searched and I was like, his image is kind of like, he has this strange image that I couldn't shake off my thing. Now, shake off my head, basically. But if you check, his name spells, when you spell his name, is Rema. Before, when he was still a gospel musician, his name was spelled Rema with an H in between the R and the E. Okay? And so they changed it when they rebranded him. And so if you think of what actually got him changing and rebranding his entire image, it was when he was kind of like, or when he started to work with the popular musician or producer Don Jazzy. That's what kind of picked up for him this entire imagery. Now, what happened with Rema when they rebranded him into this artist that he is right now? And the reason why there's all these questions about him switching up and whatnot is because of this recent album that he has, where he has a church upside down and a cross, which is upside down, and that church is in flames. And so it has brought up this thing that, is he now mocking the church now that he's successful in the world? And I just found it quite interesting that when you look actually right at the top, there is a skeleton figure holding roses on fire right at the top of his imagery, right on his album. And so it's quite interesting. He was a gospel musician, and all of a sudden, he is now making a mockery of the church. Okay? Not only is he making a mockery of the church, there is actually one of the music videos that he actually has that I actually saw. I think I saw it on Being Real George's video. And on that particular thingy, he has a goat in the middle of a Masonic checkered floor thingy. And I thought that was quite an interesting one. I'm actually kind of like trying to remember where I saw it. It's only popping in my head right now as I'm talking about it. But in Being Real George's video about this particular subject, if you go and you check out Being Real George's video, George actually did talk about thingy, and he showed a portion of the video where you see it right there. That's why I couldn't find it. Yeah, so there's this portion of it in one of his videos where there's a goat wearing his chain, okay, that appears on a checkered floor. Now, if you've seen anything Masonic, checkered floor is one of them. If you check a lot of Masonic lodges, they do have checkered floors as a representation of light and darkness, basically. And so it was quite interesting to see a person who was a Christian is now portraying himself as a goat. Remember, a goat is an outcast, right? Only sheep are in thing. And it's quite an interesting figure if you think about it within things. So once you see that particular thing, I saw that there was actually even something else actually on his Instagram. If you scroll down, you'll see now he is now wearing ankhs. If you know an ankh, it's a symbol of life from Egyptology, basically. In Egyptian teachings, the ankh is a symbol of life. But y'all know it has nothing to do with God. But anyways, if you scroll down, there is something that I also saw. There's that art that we were just talking about. And there is this art stuff that he did that had me saying, I think the guy, you can see there, him performing over a church and stuff like that and whatnot, and knowing very well that his music is a mockery of what he was before. But the part that I'm looking for comes right about somewhere around here, where you can see him. See if I can find this art. It's a bunch of posters, basically. Okay, now this is a little bit late. There's these posters that he did. It kind of reminded me, actually, these posters that I'm talking about, they reminded me of Guns N' Roses. If you look at the imagery of Guns N' Roses, the rock band, they are into this imagery of having strange tattoos and crosses and all that kind of stuff, like art that is like very wild, like all over the place and stuff like that. And so Guns N' Roses is the one that has thingy. But he has this artwork here on his Instagram. That's the one that I'm looking for. And if you go and you, me and my niggas living, we chop life, basically. That's the kind of like the idea that he's posting out here. If you read the page, or if you read portions of the page that he's displaying here, it's like, it's just gibberish. It doesn't make sense. It's kind of like healing. It's critiquing healing methods, and it's saying it's pointless. So it's kind of like him saying life is it's almost pointless at a viewpoint where he is from a celebrity's perspective, basically. But there was another poster that he had that kind of drew my attention as well, and it was this particular poster right here. And this poster, the reason why it drew my attention is because if you read here, it speaks about abortion and whatnot and stuff like that. These are signs of people who have gone the other direction, but they don't realize that the world has completely corrupted them. You could say the same thing about the figure of Ja Rule, right? You remember even actually with the Rema image by particularly, you'll remember Lady Gaga. There was a branding that Akon did, or a rebranding, more to say, that actually went on. But recently, the figure or the person of Ja Rule has been in question. At one point, he thought himself to be Christian. He said he was Jehovah's Witness and so forth. But recently, he's been mocked for portraying himself on a cross. It's a very popular thing of artists who claim to be Christian. And they go out and they do things that are contrary and are a mockery of God. It's not new. We see more of it. It's just that we just don't expect them to be so obvious. It's actually a show we do daily Christian commentary videos.